Today's lesson is called Throwaway Future. Hi everyone, my name is Jeff.
I'm Roger. Again, we're talking about throwaway future, the future of throwing things away. Well, that's actually the present. We are throwing away lots and lots of stuff, and we're creating problems for the environment. Remember, we talked about fast fashion, where clothes are pretty cheap and we can buy new shirts and new trousers pretty much every week and then throw them away when we're done. We were also talking about electronics. It's a lot cheaper just to buy a new phone. If the battery dies, you can't change the battery anyway because they're all built in. This is all part of the throwaway culture. So what are we going to do about all this trash that we're producing?
Yes, we're producing tons of trash. We're producing endless ever-growing piles of trash. Where are we going to put it all? What are we going to do with it? Are we going to continue adding to the Great Pacific Garbage Patch? What are we going to do? Can we do anything? Have we thrown away our culture? These are all good questions, and I get the feeling that the answer is going to be us, okay? What are we going to do? We're going to have to change the way that we act. We've got this throwaway culture. We've got to start doing things in new and different and environmentally sustainable ways. Anyways, that's it for our introduction. Let's go ahead and get started with our lesson. We'll start reading right after this.
Since we don't have to deal with waste processing ourselves, many of us don't think about where the rubbish goes. It's a case of out of sight, out of mind. Much of it is buried or burned, creating soil and air pollution. Some finds its way into our oceans where it forms toxic zones of trash like the Great Pacific Garbage Patch. The pollution caused by all this waste is poisoning us all.
大家好，首先在第一部分我们看到的单字是形容词 toxic， 表示有毒的，引起中毒的。例如 Many chemicals used on fruits and vegetables are toxic. 许多用在蔬菜水果上的化学药剂都是有毒的。又或者说 Don't let your dog eat chocolates, for they are toxic for the dogs. 别让你的狗吃巧克力，因为它对狗来说是有毒的。
Let's talk now about the first part of our lesson. Are you ready? Now here it starts by saying, since we don't have to deal with waste processing ourselves, or you could say because we don't have to deal with waste processing ourselves, many of us don't think about where the rubbish goes. So yeah, we don't have to worry about processing the garbage, so therefore, we don't think about where our trash goes. We just throw it away and we don't think about it. So we don't have to deal with waste processing, which involves maybe recycling and trash going into an incinerator, which is a place that burns the trash. We don't have to deal with that. We just go out to the garbage truck at a certain time every day, throw our little blue bag into the garbage truck, and go back home and continue to play on our smartphones. So we don't need to think about where that rubbish goes. Rubbish is just another word for garbage, for trash.
Garbage, trash, refuse, or maybe even litter. Though one note, usually when people are talking about litter, they're talking about garbage that someone has thrown on the ground. They've thrown that garbage where it shouldn't be, okay? Anyway, so, we don't have to deal with waste processing ourselves. We put our waste in our garbage can, and the garbage man takes it away. And you think, hey, that's that, right? Wrong. Here it's a case of out of sight, out of mind. But that garbage man is going to take that garbage to a place where all this garbage is piling up or being put into the ground. Yes, you heard me right. People bury garbage. They have no idea what else to do with this stuff, so they bury it in a landfill. Anyways, more on garbage. When your garbage man takes your garbage away, they take it to a landfill, to a dump. And much of your garbage, much of it is buried or burned, creating soil and air pollution. So, burying garbage, that is terrible. That causes soil pollution. It makes for dirty dirt. Then they also burn garbage, though, which is awful. They burn garbage, and then that causes air pollution. So we have soil pollution and then air pollution. Call that a double whammy. Now, what is pollution? Pollution is nasty stuff that has been released into the environment, into the soil, into the atmosphere, into water, you name it. If you pollute something, and that's the verb, when you pollute something, you ruin that thing because you're adding nasty stuff to it. Yes, pollution is poisonous, toxic substances that have been released into the environment by people. For example, the classic example would be factories. Factories release a lot of pollution.
It seems that air pollution has been a big problem in recent years, especially in the center part of Taiwan and in the south. What's the deal there? Someone needs to tell me about all that air pollution. But here, because of this rubbish or this garbage being buried or burned, it creates soil and air pollution. Now, some finds its way into our oceans, where it forms toxic zones of trash, like the Great Pacific Garbage Patch, for example. So some of this trash manages to get into the oceans. It finds its way there. Find its way just means it manages to get there somehow, maybe on its own or maybe by accident, but that garbage does end up in our oceans, and it just doesn't disappear under the waves. It's actually there, and it causes problems. It actually forms these toxic zones. Toxic means it's poisonous, although I think of poisonous as being like snakes or plants or other animals. If something's toxic, it's usually referring to something man-made, like chemicals or pollution.
Okay, yes, here, some of this garbage finds its way into the oceans. Oh no, and then it contributes to bad situations, bad toxic zones of trash like the Great Pacific Garbage Patch. That's terrible. But yes, if something finds its way into something else, that means it gets there eventually. You can find your way somewhere, or something can find its way to some other place. One way or another, if you find your way or something finds its way to some other place, that means that you or this other thing have gotten to a place or have arrived at a situation, even though there was probably no planning involved. Like when I first got to Taiwan here, my wife couldn't pick me up at work, so I had to find my way home. My first day in Taiwan, she called me and said, "Jeff, I've got to work, so you're on your own." And I said, "Well, I'll try my best to get home. I'll try my best to find my way home." By the way, that's a true story. I just had to find the river and kind of follow the river, and then I saw a Costco that I recognized, and then I was kind of in my home neighborhood. I didn't plan to do any of this stuff, but I did find my way home eventually.
What a smart boy you are. I could also give the example of my kitchen. No matter how clean we keep our kitchen, the roaches always manage to find their way into the kitchen. We just can't keep those roaches out of our kitchen. They find their way in there all the time. So some of this garbage does manage to find its way into the oceans, and then that garbage forms those toxic zones of trash, such as the Great Pacific Garbage Patch, as we mentioned before. Now, the pollution caused by all this waste is poisoning us all. We'd like to think, well, that's way off in the Pacific Ocean there. What does that have to do with me? Out of sight, out of mind. No, it's a big ecological, environmental system. We're going to be affected by it. All that's going to affect the fish in the ocean. Seafood prices are going to go up. Maybe the seafood we eat is going to be toxic or even poisonous. So yes, it's going to affect us at some point, and it is poisoning us all. We are committing suicide. We are killing ourselves. Okay, let's move on now to the next part of our lesson. We'll listen to it first.
An exciting new trend may be the answer. It's called the sharing economy, and it's a way to get what we need without creating so much waste. People lease rather than purchase products and services, including a car ride, the use of a lawnmower for a few hours, and more.
第二部分我们看到的字是动词 lease， 表示租借、租用。举例来说，Over 100 rooms in this building are leased to the nearby university as the students' dormitory. 这栋大楼里有超过100间房间被附近的大学租去当学生的宿舍。也可以说 We will lease a space in the shopping mall for our new shop. 为了我们的新店，我们将在购物中心租一个空间。再来，我们看到的字是动词 purchase， 当动词时表示购买。举例来说You will have to use cash if you want to purchase anything at the store. 如果你想在这间商店购买任何东西，都必须使用现金交易。这个字当名词时表示购买行为、购买的物品。也可以说 Ellen always uses credit card to pay for her online purchase because she thinks it's more convenient. Ellen 在网络上购物的时候，总是用信用卡付费，因为她觉得比较方便。接下来看到的单字是 lawnmower，为名词，意思是除草机。例如 Josh bought this expensive lawnmower from Target trying to fix the mess in his garden. Josh 从 Target 买了一台昂贵的除草机，希望能好好整理他混乱的花园。又或者说，小心使用那台除草机，因为如果你不熟悉怎么操作的话，可能会很危险。英文就是Be careful when you are using the lawnmower because it can be really dangerous if you're not familiar with it.
Okay, before the break, wow, we learned some scary stuff, okay? We're polluting the earth at alarming rates, everyone, and you might think, hey, out of sight, out of mind. If I don't see where the trash goes and I don't care about it, well, it must be gone, right? Wrong. No way. Yes, we're polluting the earth and we're pretty much ruining the earth in the process. We're ruining the earth and we're killing ourselves as well. We're poisoning ourselves by creating so much garbage. Anyways, that's enough for the scary stuff. Let's start looking at some solutions, okay? An exciting new trend may be the answer. Yes, we've got problems, so let's talk about solutions. Let's come up with some answers.
Yes, indeed. There is still hope. All hope is not lost. An exciting new trend may be the answer. It's called the sharing economy. Of course, the economy refers to the wealth or riches that countries produce and the purchasing and production of products and services and stuff like that. That all has to do with the economy, but now we're talking about the sharing economy. Sharing, of course, means that you use something and you let someone else use it too. You are sharing.
Instead of having your own bike, you share your bike with a bunch of other people, let's say. So instead of having 10 bikes for 10 people, you've got one bike for 10 people. Whenever your bike's not being used, someone else can use it, so on, so forth. How cool. Anyways, yes, when we're talking about economies, we are talking about businesses and stuff like that, like the business environment of a country. That would be the economy of that country. Here, though, we're being slightly more specific. Here, when we're talking about an economy, we're talking about a type of business and how the people and companies associated with it interact. So the sharing economy. We're talking about how people do business while they're sharing stuff. Anyways, let's move on, learn some more about the sharing economy. In the sharing economy, people lease rather than purchase products and services, including a car ride, the use of a lawnmower for a few hours, and more. Now, before we move on, to purchase something is to buy that thing. That's all there is to it. Yes, the word purchase, I should say, can be used as a verb. If you purchase something, you buy that thing, but you can also make a purchase. That is, this word purchase can be used as a noun. A purchase is something that you have bought or purchased.
Indeed. So you can lease things or rent things rather than purchase those things. And we got some examples here. You could lease a car ride, which is basically taking a taxi, but maybe you could get an Uber ride or something like that, or from Lyft. There are other programs as well. Or maybe you could just take the bus. Who knows? You don't really need a car. This could also include the use of a lawn mower. That's a kind of device that cuts your grass if you have a lawn. And you know, you only need to do that about once every 2 weeks or so. So sometimes it's not necessary to buy a lawn mower. You can just borrow one from someone else for just a few hours. And there are other examples as well. I think we all probably have things that we don't really use that often. If we share them, then maybe we wouldn't have to buy so much stuff.
I think that's the point. The sharing economy might just solve all of our problems. All right, folks, with that, it is time for us to take a short break. But when we come back, we'll be wrapping up our lesson called Throwaway Future.
We also have to start being smarter consumers, buying only what we really need and repairing and reusing whatever we can. When tired of old clothes, we can donate them or swap them for others. We can also reduce our use of disposable products by carrying our own travel mugs for takeout drinks and packing reusable chopsticks in our bags. We must take steps to change our throwaway culture before we throw away our future.
今天的最后一个单字是 swap， 为动词，指交换或用点点点替换。Swap A for B 表示用 A 交换 B。举例来说 Donna swapped her trousers for shorts when the day turned hot. 天气转热时 Donna 就把长裤换成短裤了。又或者说 I want to swap seats with you because I'm feeling kind of cold sitting in this spot. 我想跟你换位子，因为我坐在这边感觉有点冷。
Okay, so how can we stop throwing away so much stuff, and how can we stop the environment from becoming so toxic? Well, we also have to start being smarter consumers, buying only what we really need and repairing and reusing whatever we can. So, of course, if you're a consumer, you're a person who buys and uses products and services. That's a consumer. And yes, you can be a smart consumer by not buying all that extra stuff, okay? We don't need all that stuff. Just buy what you need, and you can repair stuff and reuse stuff whenever you can. Quit throwing stuff away and quit buying new stuff. How many cell phones have you gone through in your life? It's probably a very shameful number.
Way, way too many. Yes, that number would be shameful for many people. Yes, reuse, recycle, and also repair. Fix stuff. Don't throw stuff away that you can repair or fix. Now, one note on this word consumer. Yes, consumers are people who buy things. Consumers are a lot like customers, though consumers here are more like participants in an economy. Yes, we are all a part of an economy. These companies want us to buy more and more stuff. Well, we as consumers can say, no more. We're going to buy fewer things, and we're going to start reusing and recycling, and we're going to start repairing more of our stuff.
And when tired of old clothes, we can donate them or swap them for others. So, yes, it's pretty easy to get tired or bored of your old clothes. You want to keep up with fashion, so you can donate those clothes, give them to poor people or give them to charities, or you could swap them for others. You could trade them. Maybe there are some places that allow us to trade our clothes, etc., etc. Then we can get something new and somebody else can wear our old clothes, provided that those clothes have been washed and cleaned properly. We can also reduce our use of disposable products by carrying our own travel mugs for takeout drinks and packing reusable chopsticks in our bags. Yes, indeed, we keep using those disposable products. We go to the convenience store and get a coffee and use their cup, and then we throw it away. We should bring our own travel mug or our own flask.
However you choose to do it, we have to work together to kill this throwaway culture. Yes, we must take steps to change our throwaway culture before we throw away our future. All right, folks, it's time for you to hear from the Chinese teacher, so don't go away.
各位同学大家好，我是 Hanny。 我们来看今天的文法重点。课文第一部分有一个句子是 Some finds its way into our oceans where it forms toxic zones of trash, like the Great Pacific Garbage Patch. 有些垃圾流入海洋，形成有毒的垃圾地带，像是太平洋垃圾带。那这边要介绍的是 find one's way into 或者是 to 再加名词，这表示找到要去什么什么的路，或者是表达得以到达或是进入。那这个用法也常常用来比喻说经过一番波折，最后变成某个结果。例如 We found our way to the restaurant by using Google Maps. 我们用 Google 地图找到去那间餐厅的路。再看一个例句Many Latin words found their way into the English language. 许多拉丁语词后来演变成英语的一部分。好，那么课文第二部分最后一句提到，人们租赁而非购买产品与服务，包括乘车、使用几小时的割草机等等。那这边要介绍两个文法重点。首先是 rather than 的用法。rather than 可以当连接词或是介系词。那它当连接词的时候 rather than 表示而非怎么样，而不是怎么样，它是用来连接词性相同的字词。举例来说 She wants to be an actress rather than a lawyer. 她想成为一名演员而不是律师。好，另外以 rather than 来连接不定词片语，连接 to 加上原形动词的时候呢， rather than 后方的不定词它的 to 通常会省略哦。例如He prefers to jog in the park rather than work out at a gym. 他比较喜欢在公园慢跑，而不是在健身房运动。那么 work out at a gym 前方就是省略了 to。那么 rather than 当介系词的时候，是用来表达用来代替什么什么，那么之后是接名词或动名词，这时候它的意思就相当于 instead of。例如Rather than buying a new car, he bought a used one. 他买的是中古车，而不是买新车。好，那么第二个文法重点是 including 它的用法。including 是介系词，表示包含、包括。那它的用法是 including 加上名词。例如 Everyone, including the principal, enjoyed the speech. 所有的人，包括校长，都很喜欢那场演讲。那顺便补充一下 included 是形容词，用来表达包括在内的、被包括的。那它的用法是名词加上 included。同学们要注意哦 including 加上名词，那么名词加上 included。像刚刚的例句可以改成 Everyone, the principal included, enjoyed the speech。 好，那么以上是今天的重点整理，接着回顾今天的单字吧。
Rubbish. Patrick and his friends are going to the beach this weekend to help clean up rubbish. Pollution. While there are many laws related to pollution, they don't completely solve the problem. Toxic. If you ever accidentally eat or drink something toxic, call a poison control center or go to the hospital immediately. Economy. Tourism plays an essential role in supporting local economies. Purchase. If you're going to purchase a used car, make sure you take it to a mechanic to get checked out first. Consumer. If enough consumers get together, they have the power to pressure companies into changing their sales approaches.
Discussion Starter starts now!
All right, folks, now it's time for our discussion starter. Roger, what else can you do to help change our throwaway culture?
Well, I can encourage others to have a wonderful and interesting personality like me. That way, you won't need to buy clothes to make yourself stand out. You can wear the same clothes all the time. People will notice your sparkling personality instead of your clothes. How about you?
Well, personally, I can make an effort to stop using plastic bottles, okay? Usually I'm pretty good at not using plastic, but I can't help it. I like going to the convenience store and getting a Coke Zero in a plastic bottle, so I'm going to try to cut that out starting now. Okay, everyone. With that, today's article is now complete. But, as always, we sure hope that you guys have enjoyed reading along with us. Anyways, I'm Jeff.
I am Roger.
See you next time.